I wake up with nothing to do and no one who needs me anymore. These words from my 72-year-old neighbor broke my heart, especially because I knew life after 65 could be so much more than empty days without purpose. What if the most fulfilling chapter of your life hasn't even started yet? Remember Sarah, who discovered pottery at 68 and now runs a thriving studio? Or James, who found his soulmate at 70? In the next few minutes, I'll share 6 life-changing secrets that have helped thousands of seniors transform their golden years from a waiting room into an adventure worth living. These aren't just tips, they're proven pathways to joy. Have you ever looked at the clock and realized another day has passed with nothing to show for it? I've heard this from so many seniors who describe their days as empty hours rather than meaningful moments. After decades of structured lives centered around careers and raising families, the sudden freedom of retirement often feels hollow. What was supposed to be a gift of time becomes a void that needs filling. Society paints retirement as the ultimate reward, a time to relax, travel, and put your feet up. The brochures show smiling couples walking on beaches and playing with grandchildren. But what happens when the vacations end and the grandkids go home? The truth is more complicated. Research shows that seniors without a sense of purpose experience higher rates of depression and cognitive decline. The relaxation promised can become isolation. For many, the transition happens almost overnight. One day you're essential, making decisions, solving problems, being needed. The next day the world seems to move on without you. Your calendar empties, your phone rings less often. The rhythm that structured your days disappears. I used to manage 50 people, one retired executive told me. Now I manage to get the mail. This loss of identity hits hard, and leisure activities alone cannot fill the gap created when purpose vanishes. Despite these challenges, your brain remains remarkably adaptable. Neuroscience research confirms that our brains continue to form new connections well into our 90s. The idea that we can't grow or change after a certain age is harmful. Your capacity for reinvention remains intact. Many seniors describe feeling caught between worlds, trapped between vivid memories of who they once were and uncertainty about who they can still become. They wonder if their most meaningful contributions are behind them, questioning their value in a world that often overlooks older wisdom. The most dangerous trap is believing your story has already been fully written. When you accept that narrative, you stop looking for new chapters and settle for less than the rich life still available to you. What if this uncertainty isn't the end, but the beginning of a new chapter? The confusion and restlessness might actually be growing pains, the necessary discomfort that comes before expansion. Purpose isn't about having time, it's about having direction and meaning within that time. A woman named Grace struggled for 3 years after retiring from teaching. I had all this freedom, she said, but I felt less free than ever. Her breakthrough came when she realized she needed to stop seeing retirement as an ending and start seeing it as a beginning. I needed permission to want more from this stage of life, she explained. Let's explore how to transform this crossroads into the first step of a new adventure. The uncertainty you feel doesn't mean you've lost your way. It means you're ready to find a new path. Remember that watercolor set gathering dust in your closet, or the guitar you once played on summer evenings? Those abandoned passions represent the deepest parts of ourselves, the interests we chose purely for joy before life's responsibilities took priority. Many seniors tell me they struggle to remember what truly excited them before careers and family responsibilities dominated their lives. Think about it. If you spent 40 years focusing on others, it's natural that your own interests faded into the background. When I ask new retirees what they love to do, many stare back with genuine confusion. I'm not sure anymore, they admit. Their personal preferences have been buried under decades of necessary obligations. The longer we've been disconnected from our passions, the more intimidating it feels to return to them. This is especially true when our physical abilities or circumstances have changed. The hands that once knitted intricate patterns may now struggle with arthritis. The voice that sang in community theatre might not hit the same notes. I'll never forget Martha, a 78-year-old former art teacher who came to one of my workshops. She shared how she had stared at her old paintbrushes for months, unable to pick them up. "I was terrified I'd lost my talent forever," she told the group. "I was afraid that trying and failing would be worse than not trying at all." Her fear kept those brushes untouched for nearly a decade. What Martha didn't realize was that her brain was ready to help her. Research shows our brains form stronger neural connections when we return to familiar activities. This makes rebuilding former skills easier than learning new ones. Your brain remembers these paths even if they've become overgrown with time, like rediscovering a hidden trail in a forest you once knew well. The journey back often starts with remembering itself. Dig through old photos, read journal entries, or have conversations with friends who knew you before. These memory excavations can unearth interests completely forgotten. One man in his 70s found boxes of astronomy notes he'd kept as a teenager and rediscovered a fascination with the night sky dormant for 50 years. Many seniors find that reconnecting with abandoned interests transforms their sense of identity. "I feel younger when I'm playing music again," one 69-year-old pianist told me. "It's about remembering who I really am." This activity becomes a bridge connecting their present self with parts of their identity they feared were lost. The strongest reconnections happen when we focus on joy rather than mastery. Ask yourself what activities made you lose track of time when you were younger. Make a list, then choose one and take a small step. Buy a beginner's sketch pad. Listen to the music you once played. Visit a place connected to your old interests. The path back to passion requires only the courage to begin again with different expectations and a gentler approach than before. And if you've tried these reconnections but feel ready for something entirely new, that's where our next secret comes in. I'm too old to start something new. These 6 words might be the most damaging phrase in a senior's vocabulary, and also the least true. I hear it all the time in my conversations with older adults who have convinced themselves that the window for new experiences is somehow closed. But when did we decide that learning belongs only to the young? The fear of looking foolish keeps many seniors from trying new activities. I watched my own father, a retired engineer, hesitate for months before joining a community theatre group. "Everyone will wonder what this old man is doing there," he told me. He worried about fumbling lines, about standing out for the wrong reasons, about confirming stereotypes about aging. This fear runs especially deep in public settings where others might witness our struggles. Society has created an unfair double standard. We expect younger people to be beginners. We smile encouragingly when a 20-something stumbles through their first pottery class. But somewhere along the way, society created an unspoken rule that seniors should already know everything, or at least pretend they do. This creates a paralyzing fear of failure that keeps many older adults stuck in comfortable routines. Interestingly, learning new skills actually improves brain health. Research shows that challenging your mind with unfamiliar activities helps protect against dementia and cognitive decline. Your brain grows new connections when you push beyond what's comfortable. Every struggle to master something new strengthens the very organ that defines who you are. There's a beautiful concept in Zen philosophy called beginner's mind, approaching experiences with openness and curiosity. Like opening a new chapter in a well-loved book, seniors are perfectly positioned to embrace this mindset. With decades of living behind you, you have the wisdom to know that perfection isn't the point. The journey matters more than flawless performance. History proves achievement belongs to all ages. Grandma Moses began painting at 78, Colonel Sanders founded KFC at 65, and Laura Ingalls Wilder published her first book at 65. What this shows us is that creativity and innovation have no expiration date. I've noticed an interesting difference between beginners of different ages. Younger people often fear failure because they worry about the future. Older beginners typically fear failure because they worry about the past, that their struggles might diminish previous accomplishments. Recognizing this distinction can help you move forward with more compassion for yourself. The mindset shift that helps overcome feeling too old. Recognizing that your age is actually an advantage. You have less to prove than younger beginners. You bring rich life experience to everything you attempt. Most importantly, you have the wisdom to enjoy the journey without obsessing over results. Your hero's journey doesn't end at 65. In many ways, it begins with wisdom that only comes from decades of living. The road ahead offers something special. The chance to know yourself beyond the labels that defined your earlier years. Our relationships form the foundation of a meaningful life regardless of age. A recent AARP survey confirms this. 74% of seniors cite in-person connections as the most important factor for happiness. The greatest adventure is rediscovering yourself beyond parent, professional, partner roles, creating a third act that brings you joy because it's what you choose. Remember, the story of your life continues unfolding, and you're holding the pen. Stay blessed by the best, friend.